Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Erin, and today I'm going to be doing my June and July wrap up. So I've been like terrible with the YouTube game lately, but it's time to finally get back into it. Sometimes I just have to really take a break, and that's okay. I've been in a little bit of a reading slump as well. So I finished a book in July that really kind of put me in a reading slump because I loved it so much, and I just like, when I find a book like that and I just love it so much, I just like need something like it, but I didn't think I could find anything like it, if that makes sense. So it just kind of put me in a little bit of a slump. But without further ado, we'll just go ahead and dive right in. So for June, the first book that I finished was Becoming by Michelle Obama. So first I want to say I'm definitely a huge fan of Michelle Obama. I'm definitely on that side of the political party. That's all I really want to get into about that. I know people have very, very strong feelings about politics, but I really do adore Michelle Obama as a first lady and as a person. However, I was totally disappointed in this book. I did end up giving it 3 stars, I think. 3. I'm pretty sure it was 3 on Goodreads. I don't know. I just felt like it focused so much on education, and not only education, but like the best education, which, don't get me wrong, education is totally important. I understand that, but it almost had like the vibe that you couldn't be anything in life if you don't have a good education. I don't think that's true at all. I know plenty of people that are making tons of money without even a college degree. Even myself, I'm in human resources at a very large company, and I mean, I make very good money. So I just felt like that was a little almost pompous, to be honest. I don't know. And obviously it focused a lot on her race, which is very important. This country is not where it needs to be when it comes to that. We really need to get the word out there. We really need to change the way things are going in our country, but that's a whole different thing that I could talk about. I really was hoping that it would go more into the White House, but it just didn't really. It was more about her childhood and growing up and her jobs before becoming a first lady. So it was interesting. I did enjoy it, and I listened to this on audiobook, which was narrated by Michelle, and it was fantastic. So I just had mixed feelings about it overall, I guess. The next book that I read in June was Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. So I read this from the library, so I don't have a physical copy of it. But this was really good. So this follows a girl named Melinda who is in high school, and she is now being bullied because of something that had happened to her in high school. And I don't want to give anything away because, spoilery, I'm sure pretty much everyone has read this book so far. But it just kind of goes into some PTSD symptoms and kind of really goes into how cruel people can be in school. I didn't have anything like what Melinda had happened to her to me, but I was bullied severely in high school. So I really did resonate with this story well. I feel like it captured feelings really well. I think Laurie Halse Anderson did a really good job with kind of showing PTSD and the feelings of being bullied and just how that really affects you. It really has changed the person I am today. I can be very brash. I can be told I'm a bitch a lot of the times. I do come off kind of like a bitch. I'm not even gonna lie. Now I have a standoffish personality from being bullied in high school. So like, just what I'm trying to say is it really does affect you as a person. People need to realize what bullying does. My school did absolutely nothing about bullying. The teachers knew I was getting bullied. Nothing happened. I don't know. I could go on and on and on about this subject, but I really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4 out of 4 stars. The next book that I read in the month of June was The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, which Christina Lauren is 2 people, which I'm pretty sure pretty much everyone knows that by now. I was mind blown when I figured that out, but this was such a treat. So it follows 2 characters, Olive and Ethan, and they are, Olive is a twin, and her twin sister is marrying Ethan's brother. I believe his name was Dane. pretty sure. So it's like a hate to romance type book, which I'm a total sucker for. So the plot basically is, without giving anything away, it's in the synopsis, but everybody in the wedding party gets sick except for Ethan and Olive, and they end up having to go to the honeymoon with each other, like by themselves. So it's so funny. The characters were just so well developed, so quirky. They like already fought like a married couple. I mean, like from the beginning, before you even start reading the book, you pretty much know what's gonna happen. But like finding out how that happens is just so much fun. Alright, so going on to July, I have 4 or 5 books here to talk about, which I know is like not much, but I had a pretty good reading month in July. I did do the readathon, which I totally sucked at. I got really sick during it, so it really slowed down my reading. But without further ado, we'll just get into the books I read in July. So the first book I read was Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. So this is a collection of short stories which are like fairy tales. And this book was fantastic. So this was the only book that I finished for the readathon. But I absolutely loved it. I gave it a 4 stars. I thought it was great. Leigh Bardugo's writing was just so beautiful in it. I felt like the stories were really well paced as well. You don't feel like you're reading a modern book. You feel like you're reading old school fairy tales. Like she really writes them like she's from back in that time frame. So, time period, I guess I should say. So it was just a really enjoyable read, really quick read, really nice to do for the readathon. And the next book I read, which was the book that put me in a reading slump, but I actually have another one that I'm going to talk about next, but it's Finale by Stephanie Garber. So this is the conclusion to the Caraval series. It was a fantastic conclusion. I just have really fallen in love with these characters. I thought this book was just great. I loved it. Legendary is probably definitely my least favorite, but I just thought this conclusion was so great. Her writing is just so beautiful. Like, I feel like you can just sense everything and smell everything, and it's just, it really takes you away. The pacing was great, and I just love the story overall. So I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. So the next book that I read in July was Heroine by Mindy McGinnis, and wow, what a book. I could talk about this book forever probably. I immediately wanted to reread it after I put it down. It got all water damaged. I spilled my water bottle on it. Whoopsie. But this follows a girl named Mickey, and she is involved in a car accident. So Mickey is pretty much her star, the star softball player at her high school. She is on her way to getting a full ride to college based on her softball, and she is in a car accident with her best friend. She severely injures her leg, and she is prescribed Oxycontin to deal with the pain, and we can kind of see where this is going. So this is set in Ohio, which I do live in Ohio. This is actually set in a town about 40 minutes from me. So it really hits close to home. I have seen this town change so much. Not necessarily the town they're talking about because I don't live there, but my town has just changed so much over the past even 5 years with the opioid epidemic. So you see these kids in high school getting addicted. I mean, there are several people that I went to school with that are dead. Some are in prison because of this opioid epidemic. I know Ohio is like the number 2 worst state for it. So this really hit close to home. This is very, very graphic, I will say. Definitely, if you are not in a strong mental place, if you've ever experienced addiction or even felt like tempted or anything where you're not in a good mental place, do not read this because it is very, very graphic. It is a very good story. It goes into really, really graphic, I guess, detail about the opioid crisis, about how easy it can affect you, about how tragic, how much it can just devastate your life. This was a fantastic novel. I give it 5 out of 5 stars, and I'm probably going to reread it again this month. So the next book that I read, so I did listen to this on audiobook, was Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, and I would have to look again and see who narrated this, but they were great. This was, okay, so I was really intimidated by this book at first because it was sci-fi, and I just don't really get into sci-fi that much, but this book was so much fun. So the storyline was really great. The characters were really great. It was just such a colorful cast of characters. The battle scenes, the pacing, the growth and development of the characters was really good as well. I just really had like a fun time listening to this book, and I think that's really important. I'm definitely planning on picking up the sequel, which, let me see what it's called. Starsight. Oh, fall 2019. So I'm going to pick that up soon. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Alright, and the last book that I have to talk about is We Hunt the Flame by, oh my gosh, Hafsa Fazil. I really hope I'm saying that right. I'm so sorry if I'm not. So this is like an ancient Arabian tale. One person is a hunter, and hello, this is me popping in, editing, and drinking a beer. So, oh, and don't mind my messy fucking room that I added in. I look like a scrub. But I realized that my video cut off when I was talking kind of about what We Hunt the Flame is about. So it follows 2 characters. One is an assassin, which is a male character, and then one is a huntress, which is a female character. And they cross paths, and they kind of, things develop, if you know what I mean. That's about all I remember, and about all I'm going to say about it, because, I don't know, it just wasn't that memorable of a book for me. So I just wanted to pop in and just let you guys know exactly, kind of, from what I remember, what it was about. Is it done?
Yeah, you're on.
Well, why are you still bitching about taco shells?
Because I want a new box.
Oh my god. Prayers from my husband. Okay, so I was talking about We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Fazil, which, like I said, I hope I'm saying right. So, I don't know exactly where it cut off, but basically what I was saying is I was having a really hard time connecting to these characters. I really liked the setting. Like, it was just so descriptive. You could just see the colors and the textures and the setting, and it was beautiful, but it was one of those books where I was just kind of zoning out in. It was okay. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, but it was kind of one of those books where I closed it and I don't know what the fuck happened. So, I don't know. I didn't love it, but I definitely didn't hate it either. I don't know if there's going to be another book, and if there is, if I would continue with it, but I'm not like upset that I read it either. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to support me and see more of my bookish content. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them, what books you read in June and July, how you felt about them, anything. I love to chat and get to know you guys. But that is it, and I will see you soon in a new video. Bye.